Well, hello, this is Rosanna, RCG Creations. How are you doing? I'm bringing you today a kind of a low-cal stroganoff. It's made with ground beef and some Greek yogurt. Of course, I'll put in the description box the ingredients, the actual ingredients that go with the recipe, and then what I've done. Because a lot of this stuff, hubby and I, either one of us or both of us don't care for. So we're going to ad-lib it. And because we're using yogurt instead of sour cream, it's going to be more low-cal. And everybody knows I'm trying to do some calories. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt 2 pounds of butter. And I'm going to turn you over so you could be here at see me cooking. Let me get you a little bit closer. Okay, you can see me. Let me turn my burner on. Now it asks for chopped, diced onions. Hubby can't handle, he can't stand onions in any kind of a meal, so I've done the next thing that I can do, that he okays me to do, is I do onion powder, but I'm also good to do minced dry onions. Okay, so I rationed off my minced onions, and I'm going to put them in here with this butter. Oops, where's my thing? We're cooking this on egg noodles. Is what we're going to eat this on. Now I know those are not low-cal, but I'm going to try to have a very little amount of egg noodles, and mostly the meat mixture for my meal. The egg noodles will be for hubby. So I'm melting this down. See that? Someday there'll be a camera right here and you can see everything as I was going. But not yet. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and add my minced onions so they can saute with the butter, so they can soften up a little bit. Now I'm just mixing that up. I'm going to turn on my heat. It's a little too high, I think. Okay, so let that simmer and savor in its flavor for a bit. Oh, let me get my excuse for the reach. Get a spoon. I'm going to stir my egg noodles to make sure they're not too underdone or too overdone. I think they're about ready. You're supposed to be able to taste one. We like it soft. So let me wait for one to cool off. Let me turn down that heat, because I definitely don't want to leave them on there for too long, because then they'll get soggy. Okay, so next thing we're going to do, we'll put that over. You're supposed to cook it over medium high heat, but we're not using raw onions. We're doing dehydrated onions. Okay. And then if you add your mushrooms. I can't handle mushrooms, so I'm not putting any mushrooms in here. I know hubby loves them, but I don't, so we're skipping that part. He don't like the onion, and I don't like the mushrooms. See, we compromise. Okay, next thing we're going to do is stir in the garlic and the flour. Now I'm just using a garlic powder, because actually, you know, I got to turn that. It's a little too high for my taste. And I don't know. I don't want to make sure I burn it. And I just sprinkle butter. I kind of measured a little bit, not a whole lot, but I know it's got a lot. We're using 2 pounds of meat, so you want to make sure it's got some flavor. And of course, you can always add more butter and garlic and onions later down the line, after you taste it. Well, let me taste my egg. That's good. Let me get my strainer. Let me strain that one up and then put it back in my pot, because it'll be ready to roll. Let that drain, turn off the heat. I'm going to put my lid on that and let that drain for just a minute. Okay, so I mixed all that, mixed my garlic. I'm going to do my flour, all-purpose flour. Put all that flour in there. Stir this up. And I'm sure it's going to look a lot different when you're using fresh onions. But for those who don't like onions, this is just another way to still get the flavor, because onions add a lot of flavor, not just the onion flavor, to a meal. It enhances the other ingredients and brings the flavors out. Okay, so that's mixed up. Next thing is, typically you would stir in the garlic and the flour. You cook it for 1 minute, but because this is powder, we're not going to do that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our wine. It's about half a cup of wine. Then stir that up. Oops, one of my chores is due. Sorry about that. At this time I remember to keep my phone next to me, so when I'm doing a video that goes off, y'all don't hear it too much. And this you're only supposed to cook for like about a minute. The wine with the mixture here. So you cook the wine, add the wine. Oh, excuse me, it's 2 minutes for cooking with the wine. Okay, and then scrape. If you're doing this in real, make sure you're scraping the bottom of the pan, because if you have any ground bits and pieces from the ground beef. But hubby cooked the ground beef for me earlier and drained it. We didn't have to drain it very much because we got that 90%, 10%, that 90-10 percentage ground beef. We got it at Sam's. If you saw, I'll put a link in my Sam's haul I did the other day, so you can see that. That's a big old log, 9 pounds of ground beef. But it was the 90-10 percentage, so that's a good one. Okay. Add wine, spatula, ground bits, bottom of the pan, add the beef broth. Okay, so now we're going to add our beef. This is my homemade beef broth. Stir that. Let me put my little bit, go ahead and give myself a little bit more heat. And since I've never made this recipe before, I'm just going by what I think is supposed to go next, but I really don't know. Okay, so I'm just mixing that up so that way all the granules of everything gets mixed up with the broth and the wine, all of that together. Now, I know it wasn't a solid 2 minutes on the wine, but that's okay. I've cooked with wine before. Not a whole lot, but I've cooked with it before. But I have 2 friends that cook all the time with wine, and I watch them do it. So I think I'm okay. Because we're just going to let that simmer for just a few minutes. And while that simmers, I'm going to go ahead and get my... Because you don't want to get too soggy of a pasta, but you also don't want to get it too hard. Whoops, and I just spilled. Okay, so let me leave that. And I can't handle this. OCD's kicking in here. Okay, so that's going to stay there. Excuse the reach. I got to get myself a lid. Oh, sorry. I just bumped you. I'm making a bunch of noise. I'm getting a lid. That'll stay warm until supper. This really shouldn't take very long. Maybe 15-20 minutes. Because hubby already pre-cooked the meat. Okay, so we're going to let that simmer for just a little bit. We're going to add the Worcestershire sauce now. Then we're going to add the Dijon mustard. I don't have any Dijon mustard, but I have Creole mustard. Creole. And it's really some good stuff. Now we're going to stir this up. My heat's still too, I think my heat's doing pretty good. Let me turn it up just a tad. Let me mix that up. I'm going to use the back of my spatula I like cooking with this little size spatula. For me, it works great versus a spoon, especially when I'm doing something like this, when you want to get all the bottom of the bits and pieces of the pan. So now I'm just stirring to make sure everything gets mixed up together. I like to add an ingredient, then mix it up really well, then add another ingredient and mix it up really well. For me, I think you just get a better quality flavor because it got mixed very, very, very well. But I really don't know because, again, I haven't been cooking that long, so I'm just going by what I think. Okay. So we're going to leave that to simmer. Okay, when did we put the ground beef in? Oh, now we put the ground beef in. Sorry. Let me get my spatula. Now I need to stir this all together. Then we're going to let it simmer for 5 minutes, but I'm not going to keep you waiting watching this because y'all, well, most of you know, basically you stir this all until it's all very well incorporated. You want to make sure the ground beef has all this good fixings in it. Man, I wish we had smell-o-vision. We would love it. Smells good. And now's a good time if you want to taste it. Let me mix it up first, and I'm going to do a little taste test of just the sauce. I'm not going to do the meat. You know the ground beef is good. And if you need to add like a little bit of beef broth or any other seasoning that you think you might want to add, this is a good point to do it while you're just doing the simmering for 5 minutes. And then we're going to add the yogurt, mix it up, and then we're done. Then we're going to do the taste test. So let me let that simmer just a minute. And look at that, I'm going to show you. See how it's not, see how that's not overly watery? Look at that. I almost had a spill. I got a little excited because it's like, oh, this smells so good. Okay, let's do a taste test. You see it's starting to simmer. I think it needs a little bit more beef broth. But I got some white wine. A friend of mine recommended. We're not wine drinkers. And you can definitely taste the wine. But of course, the wine will evaporate as it cooks. So I guess I really should have left it the full 2 minutes. But let me add a little bit of broth. I'm going to do a whole lot. So what this makes 2 cups. But we only need half. Get these plastic lids. Save your jar in the fridge for the next use. And you don't have to worry about putting your metal jars, your metal lids and rings in the fridge. Because metal, cooling and oxidation and all that is bad for metal. It wears them out a lot faster. And these are, you can get them pretty much anywhere. I think we've got these at Walmart. But Ball sells them. They come in different color. I know that I've seen white and black. Walmart, those are from Walmart. Those are only in white. But you can get, I'm sure you can get all different colors. Just go online. And I definitely think I definitely need to add salt and pepper. We're going to add this smoked sea salt from Seasoned Essentials. I forget what store we got it from. almost time to get some more of this stuff. And as a new cook, you do a little stir, then do a taste test. And since we're not gonna be sharing with anybody, I'm gonna double dip in my spoon instead of getting another spoon dirty. Oh, yeah, I do. I can't do that. I put it right here. It's just me and hubby, and we're not sharing with nobody because whatever we don't have today, we're gonna have for lunch for leftovers for tomorrow. It smells so good. Now let me do another taste test. Oh yeah, much better. That broth really made a difference. And I think also the more it's simmering. So I've already got 3 minutes on it. Let me go ahead. I'm going to bring you back when the 5 minutes is over. And I'll bring you back when it comes to the taste test. Because really all that's left now to do is after the 5 minutes is where it simmers, is add the yogurt, mix it up. And it's a 3/4 cup yogurt. Mix it up. And then it's ready to serve. So we'll bring you back. Okay, we're back to add the sour cream. I went ahead and stirred it all one last time. Not the sour cream, I'm sorry. We're going to add the yogurt. Sorry about that. We're doing the lower calorie stroganoff by using yogurt, Greek yogurt. Now let me just stir that up. Oh yeah, you can see me. Just want to make sure you can see the pan. Still smells good. Haven't done a taste test yet, but I definitely will be adding another taste test. Just to make sure if I need to add some salt, pepper, some more garlic or onion powder. I don't think I will, but you never know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not gonna be for sure what this yogurt's gonna do to it. Because it says once you add the yogurt, let's see, simmer for 5 minutes, then you add your yogurt, stir, and remove from heat. So let me turn off my heat. Turn off the heat. I'll move it over to this burner. And I'm sure it's because you don't want to cook the yogurt, because it's yogurt. It's supposed to be meant to be eaten cold. And I think you don't want to curdle the milk. But I really don't know. I'm just guessing. I have no idea. But it smells okay. Now it's all mixed up. Making sure I got it in all mixed up together. Okay, so it's all mixed up. Let's do a taste test. Yep. But I definitely would add some salt. I'm going to do it this way. I don't want to add too much salt. Because I didn't hardly taste any salt, but you notice I didn't put salt in the front. But with that Worcestershire sauce, I figured it had enough salt in there with that. Now let me do some ground pepper. Now let's stir this up, and then we'll do one more taste test of the sauce. Then we'll put it on the egg noodles, which is another type of pasta. And I really like the fact there's not a whole lot of grease and oil on the bottom of the pan. So I'm really glad that we use that 90-10% of ground beef, so you don't have a whole bunch of extra oil in there. Okay. Let's do a taste test. Oh yeah. Good, but I definitely need more salt. just hardly any salt in the flavor. And I really thought that Worcestershire sauce would have added the salt. But I don't want to put too much salt in there either. Okay, so let me plate this up. I'm only going to do a little bit of noodles because, like I said, I want to do low cal for me. Hubby gets the noodles. With big heaping platter of the sauce for me. And I'll just use my same spoon. And now let's do the official taste test. This is a 2 thumbs up for sure. I still need more salt though, so I'm gonna put that on my plate, on my own plate. I'll let hubby decide what he wants to do. But this is a good one. I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up there on the YouTube channel. YouTube likes it when we do our subscribers, the people who watch, do that for us. And I would love for you to put your recipe in the comment section or shoot me an email. I'll put my email address in the description box so I can try different types of stroganoff. I mean, there's tons out there because I was Googling this about a week ago and stuff because there was a special at the grocery store, so we got 2 huge tubs of yogurt. They were the great big ones. And hubby and we're never going to go through all that yogurt and stuff, so I got to do something with it before it spoils. And I don't really want to freeze it because you can freeze yogurt, but it kind of loses a little bit of its consistency after it's thawed out. So I don't want to freeze it, so I just need to use it. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.